Independent testing revealed that nearly half of all synthetic oils sold today fail basic protection standards under real-world conditions. I'm going to show you the 9 synthetic oils that actually deliver on their promises, and 5 that could leave you stranded with a blown engine stick around because, at the end, I'll share the one mistake even experienced mechanics make when choosing synthetic oil. Let's jump right in. Number 9. Castrol Edge Advanced Full Synthetic. I've been pulling valve covers for over 30 years, and Castrol Edge is one of those oils that just keeps proving itself. The first time I really noticed it was on a Honda Accord that came into the shop with 180,000 miles. Owner had used nothing but Edge since new, and when I cracked open that engine, the cam lobes looked factory fresh. Castrol uses what they call fluid titanium technology. And before you roll your eyes at marketing terms, hear me out. Under pressure, this oil actually changes its structure to create a stronger film between metal parts. I've seen it handle turbo engines running over 400 degrees without breaking down. Oil analysis reports from Blackstone Labs consistently show low iron content, which means your bearings aren't wearing. It's not the cheapest option on the shelf, but if you're running a direct injection engine or putting your car through hot summer traffic, this one earns its keep. Number 8. Valvoline Advanced Full Synthetic. Now this is a brand I've trusted longer than some of you have been driving. Back when I was working on fleet vehicles in the 90s, Valvoline was the oil that kept those delivery vans running past 300,000 miles without major issues. Here's what most people don't understand about synthetic oil. You don't always need racing-grade protection. What you need is something that handles cold starts, stop-and-go traffic, and highway cruising without falling apart. Valvoline nailed that balance. It's got solid anti-wear additives like molybdenum and zinc, plus detergents that actually keep your pistons clean. I've opened up engines after years of Valvoline use, and you can still read the casting numbers on the valve covers. Consumer Reports testing showed it held viscosity longer than oils costing twice as much. When you see API-SP and ILSAC GF6 certifications on the bottle, you know it meets current standards. This is the oil for people who want reliable protection without overthinking it. Number 7. Pennzoil Ultra Platinum Full Synthetic. This one surprised me when I first tried it about 8 years ago. Pennzoil Ultra Platinum is made from natural gas instead of crude oil, which sounds strange until you see what it does inside an engine. That process creates a base oil that's almost completely free of impurities right from the start. I've used it in both Arizona heat and Michigan winters, and it maintains the same smooth flow regardless of temperature. The real proof came when I tore down a Ford EcoBoost with 120,000 miles on it. The owner had been religious about using Ultra Platinum, and that engine interior was spotless. No sludge, no carbon buildup, nothing. Lab testing showed it keeps pistons 65% cleaner than conventional synthetics, and I've seen those results hold up under towing loads and high RPM driving. It meets API-SP and Dexos 1 Gen 3 standards, so it's built for modern engines. If you actually take care of your vehicle, this oil rewards that effort. Number 6. Mobil 1 Extended Performance. I've run Mobil 1 in everything from old Silverados to modern turbocharged sedans, and the extended performance version is the one that changed how I think about oil change intervals. This isn't just regular Mobil 1 stretched out for marketing purposes. They built this formula specifically for longer drain intervals, with a triple additive system that fights oxidation and maintains film strength past 15,000 miles. I've tested it in highway cars that go months between changes, then pulled samples for analysis. Blackstone reports came back, showing iron and aluminum wear stayed impressively low even after 12,000 miles of driving. The base stock holds up under heat. And what really stands out is how stable it stays. Most synthetics start thinning out after 5,000 miles of hard use. But this one keeps its viscosity where it needs to be. It also resists burning off, which matters if your engine sips a little oil between changes. This is the oil you use when you want to sleep easy at night. Number 5. Royal Purple High Performance Synthetic. that purple color gets attention. But Royal Purple earned its reputation with solid chemistry, not just packaging. I first used it on a Dodge Ram with a 5.7 Hemi that had developed a faint lifter tick. After 2 oil changes with Royal Purple, that noise disappeared completely. What makes it different is the Synerlec additive technology that bonds to metal surfaces, so protection doesn't wash away when the engine sits cold overnight. You'll notice smoother cold starts and quieter valve trains, especially on higher mileage vehicles. I've pulled apart engines running this oil, and those camshaft lobes looked brand new even after 80,000 miles. Independent testing shows it has one of the highest film strengths available in consumer-grade oil, which translates to reduced friction and better power delivery under load. It costs more than your typical synthetic, but if you've got a performance vehicle or a weekend car you really care about, it's worth every dollar. Number 4. Amsoil Signature Series. Amsoil was the first synthetic oil approved by the API back in 1972, when everyone else thought synthetic was just for racing. The Signature Series is one of the toughest oils I've ever tested. I've seen oil analysis reports from diesel trucks running 20,000 miles on Amsoil, and the wear metals were still in the acceptable range. It's built with high-purity base stock and a fortified additive package that fights oxidation, neutralizes acids, and prevents sludge buildup. Even under heavy towing or long idle periods, the viscosity stays stable. I've used it in work trucks that tow equipment regularly, and it maintains thick, consistent protection regardless of conditions. Cold mornings or blazing summer heat, you get the same steady oil pressure and smooth operation. It's one of the few oils that actually backs up its 25,000-mile drain interval claim with real lab data and field testing. This is for people who want bulletproof protection and don't want to be constantly doing oil changes. Number 3. Liqui Moly Synth Premium. German engineering isn't just hype, and Liqui Moly proves it. I first tried this oil on a BMW 3 Series that had a slight valve train tick a few thousand miles later. That noise was gone, and the engine ran smoother than it had in years. The secret is molybdenum disulfide, a friction modifier that creates a protective layer between moving parts. It's like armor for your bearings and cam lobes. I've cracked open valve covers on engines using Liqui Moly for extended periods, and the cleanliness is remarkable. You can literally see the difference compared to other oils. It also holds viscosity beautifully under heat. I've watched it maintain proper thickness in situations where cheaper oils turned thin as water. Plus, it's approved under some of the strictest European standards, like ACEA A3/B4 and VW5 02.00/505.00, which means it meets requirements that go beyond basic American certifications. If you're driving a European car or just want the level of protection German automakers demand, this is your oil. Number 2. Shell Rotella T6 Full Synthetic. This one has a cult following among diesel truck owners, motorcycle riders, and off-road enthusiasts. And there's good reason for that loyalty. Shell Rotella T6 is built to handle abuse that would destroy most passenger car oils. I've seen this come out of engines that spent years towing heavy loads or idling for long periods, and it still looked healthy on the dipstick. What makes it special is the high zinc and phosphorus content that provides serious wear protection for flat tappet camshafts and high-pressure fuel systems. It's also loaded with detergents that keep soot and carbon suspended instead of letting them bake onto engine parts. That matters for diesels, obviously. But it works wonders in older gas engines too, especially ones that run hotter than modern designs. I've tested it in motorcycles and turbocharged cars that see oil temperatures pushing 250 degrees, and it holds viscosity and pressure like fresh oil. Even oil analysis from heavy-use commercial rigs shows low wear metals and stable chemistry after extended intervals. This is the oil you choose when you don't baby your equipment. Number 1. Mobil 1 Annual Protection. Most oils are built to survive. This one is built to dominate. Mobil 1 Extended Performance is excellent. But annual protection takes everything to another level. It's rated for up to 20,000 miles or 1 full year, and that's not marketing talk. Independent testing shows over 50% better wear protection than standard synthetics. Even past 15,000 miles, teardown reports consistently show clean camshafts, tight bearings, and spotless valve trains even under boost or heavy towing conditions. The secret is an ultra-stable PAO-based stock combined with a fortified anti-wear system using molybdenum, boron, and advanced friction modifiers. It doesn't thin out under heat, it doesn't shear under load, and it doesn't burn off like other long-drain oils. Oil pressure stays strong, viscosity stays in grade, and engines stay protected. This is the only oil I personally trust for turbocharged engines, high-performance V8s, and daily drivers that rack up serious miles. If you want the closest thing to engine insurance you can buy, this is it. That's why it sits at number 1. Now here's where things get serious. Not every synthetic oil is safe. Some will damage your engine faster than you'd believe, and we need to talk about them right now. Number 5 on the worst list, no-name budget synthetic oils. I understand wanting to save money at the parts store, but those off-brand budget synthetics are the kind that cost you an engine later. Most show up with nice-looking labels but zero information about where they're made or what standards they actually meet. That's your first warning sign. These cheap blends usually skip critical additives like detergents, dispersants, and anti-wear agents. They might look clean when you pour them in, but after a few thousand miles, they turn dark and start thinning out. I've opened engines that ran on this stuff, and the sludge buildup looked like someone dumped roofing tar inside. If the bottle doesn't clearly list AP, ISP, or ILSACGF6 certification, don't touch it. Those certifications mean more than the price tag ever will. Number 4. High mileage blends marketed as full synthetic. This one catches a lot of people with older vehicles. You see bottles screaming full synthetic high mileage in big letters. But here's the trick. Many of them aren't actually full synthetic. They're blends, part synthetic and part conventional, and the fine print tells you the truth. These oils foam up, shear down quickly, and leave sticky deposits in older engines that used to run perfectly fine. The problem isn't the high mileage label itself. It's when companies water down the formula just to capitalize on aging vehicles. Real, full synthetic high-mileage oils protect seals and reduce friction. Fake ones just pad profit margins. If your car has some years on it, stick with a proven full synthetic that clearly lists APISP and ILSACGF6 on the back label. Number 3. Oils without proper API or ILSAC certification. This one's straightforward. No certification means no deal. Every legitimate motor oil must meet official industry standards. Look for APISP or SN+ at minimum. That's from the American Petroleum Institute, and it means the oil passed strict testing for wear protection, deposit control, and oxidation resistance. For newer vehicles, check for ILSACGF6A or GF6B certifications. Those meet modern fuel economy and turbocharger protection requirements. If you drive a GM vehicle, make sure it says Dexos 1 Gen 3 or Dexos 2. European cars often need ACEA A3/B, 4, or C3 ratings, and diesels require API CK4 or FA4. Uncertified oils are a gamble you don't want to take. Those little letters on the back of the bottle can save you thousands in repair bills. Number 2. Outdated or clearance shelf oils. You've seen them sitting on the back shelf with faded labels and clearance stickers. They look like a bargain, but they're engine killers waiting to happen. Oil doesn't age well, especially when it's been sitting for years. Additives settle out, chemistry changes, and once you pour it into your engine, you're asking for trouble. Some clearance oils are repackaged old stock from brands that changed formulas or went out of business. You'll spot them by mismatched labels, missing batch codes, or outdated API ratings like SN or SM. Modern engines need API SP or ILSAC GF6, not yesterday's leftovers. Even if it says synthetic on the bottle, it might not protect against today's heat, friction, and turbo stress. Always check for a manufacture date or batch code before buying, because saving $5 on clearance oil can cost you $5,000 in engine repairs. Number 1 worst, wrong viscosity oil. This is the silent killer that destroys more engines than bad oil brands ever will. Using the wrong viscosity can wreck your motor faster than you'd think possible. Some people still pour 20 W-50 into cars designed for 0, W-20 or 5, W-30, thinking thicker automatically means better protection. That's completely wrong. Here's what those numbers actually mean. The first number, like 0W or 5W, shows how the oil flows when it's cold. Lower numbers flow easier on startup, which is when most engine wear happens. The second number shows how thick it stays when hot. Modern engines are built with tight tolerances and need thin oils like 0W20 or 5W30 to reach every bearing and lifter quickly. Older engines or performance builds might call for 10W40 or 20W50, but only if your owner's manual specifically says so. Too thick, and you starve the top end of oil. Too thin, and your bearings take a beating. Always match exactly what's printed on your oil cap or in the owner's manual. Not what your buddy at work swears by get your viscosity wrong, and even the best synthetic oil becomes a disaster waiting to happen. Here's the truth most mechanics won't admit. Even premium synthetic oil fails if you ignore one critical factor that has nothing to do with the brand name on the bottle I'm covering. That in my next video, along with the biggest synthetic oil myths that refuse to die. Click above to watch it now before you do your next oil change.